Hi, today I'm going to show you how I use a headband as a hair accessory. This is the finished look. Cool, here we go. Okay, so as I do with my other styles, I'm starting off with a twist out. You can start off with a braid out, twist out, flat twist out, whichever one that you use to prep your hair with. So basically my hair's been stretched. It's been a few days since my wash day, so it's pretty stretched out right now. Basically yesterday evening I put my hair into 4 flat twists, wrapped my hair and then went to bed. So I've just undone them and fluffed my hair out. So make sure your hair is fluffed out. Okay. So what I'm gonna do for this style is first start off with just sectioning off a bit of hair in the front. It doesn't matter, you don't need to use a comb to divide this section. So I've taken about that much hair. And I'm just gonna use a normal clip, like a butterfly clip, to just pin it away. Just out of the way. Okay, so you've got the rest of your hair now. I use my daily spritz and spritz my edges. I don't put too much, just enough to sort of get it a bit wet. Rub that in. Do that all around. Okay, then I'm going to use my brush to brush the edges down. Okay. So now I use my Old Faithful cut up tights. I use this pretty much for all of my puffs, all of my sort of, slick back kind of updos. So use this. It's about an arm's length. I'm gonna put that. I'm just gonna tie 1 knot. I'm not tying it securely just yet because now I'm going to push it up. Now I'm not making a puff, I'm just sort of doing this just to push the edges back. So I'm gonna stop here. Now I'm gonna secure my tight / headband with a double knot. Okay. Fluff out the rest of your hair and get it to a point where you're happy with. Okay, so now that my edges are still a bit damp, this is very important for your resistant hair girls, I take my satin scarf. It's the same scarf that I use to wrap my hair at night. And I'm going to fold it into half because it's a bit wide. And then I'm going to go over the section that I put aside because I don't want to flatten that. I just want to flatten the other areas. So I tie it round. I tie it as tight as I can without giving myself a headache. Be sure not to get any hair caught in that. Okay, so I'm making sure all of my edges are being covered. And now you can use this time to finish getting ready. I usually do the rest of my makeup or start doing my makeup now because it takes maybe about 5 to 10 minutes to sort of get the edges flat. Okay, be back just now. So now I'm back. I've finished doing my makeup, finished dressing basically. So now I'm going to untie my scarf. I'm just going to pull it taut for a bit just to make sure that I've got my edges flat. Take that out. Okay, so now you'll see that the edges are lying quite flat. Okay. Now I'm going to take, basically you can take any kind of headband of your choice. Just make sure it's something that is quite tight, because otherwise if you replace this tight stocking makeshift headband with something that's loose, then you're not going to get this effect of tight edges. So what I've done, I know I'm really cheap, tights have become my best friends. So what I've done is I've used some old tights again. I think it was probably the same pair that I used to cut this headband thing off, and what I did is I just cut sort of along the that shorter side of the tights, cut off the foot bit, and I just cut a sort of small, I'll show you one time in another video, cut it into like a sort of thin little hairband kind of size. And what I did then, it basically came out like this, and then what I did is I just snipped it in the middle, so I can actually use it as something that I can adjust and, you know, sort of control how tight it goes around my head. So I'm going to use that to put around, and then at the back I'm going to tie it into a double knot. Okay, push it forward. So basically what this is doing is this is replacing this little stocking thing. You can keep it if you want, and just make sure that you can tuck in the ends, because it's not really nice to sort of see the ends at the back. But I prefer sort of having something a bit more discreet. So I'm gonna now undo the first stocking headband I put on. Okay, so now I've basically got this thin one here. Refluff. Now I'm going to release this section in the front, fluff it out. Now my hair doesn't naturally hang, so I basically have to use some creativity. I'm gonna push it to the side, use a bobby pin. And I'm going to pin it down, use another one. You can use as many as you like or need to push it to the side. Okay, and then I'm going to section off a little bit of hair sort of in this corner here. Use another bobby pin and pin that down. So this, basically, if you have hair of similar texture to mine that's very sort of resistant, you can use this as a sort of little trick to create that effect of bangs, fringe, whatever you want to call it, something that hangs basically, because otherwise my hair just sticks up like that. Now fluff it out to sort of hide the pins. Okay, so now you can obviously go out like this, but for the purpose of this video, I'm showing you how I use hair accessories. So now you can use any hair accessory that you want to add. If you can put a hair flower here or a bow, or what I'm gonna use now is a cute little headband. So I'm going to, basically, it's got this sort of flowery kind of design on this side, so I'm gonna use this side here to be the part where that part sits. So I'm just gonna quickly do this just so I don't get any of that front section caught, and then I'm gonna place this over that little makeshift tights headband that I created. Refluff and position. And you're good to go. So this is the finished look. And again, you can play around with any kind of hair accessory that you want. And I just find that this really helps because if I had just used my headband on its own, then I wouldn't have this sort of slick edges kind of effect, and it doesn't really hold my hair in place, and my hair just sort of just goes back up again. Yeah, and that's it. Cool. Thanks for watching.